Donald Trump is disrespecting reporters that are asking him why he's posting what it is that he's posting.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Donald Trump decided to disrespect a well-known and well-done reporter, Yamiche Alcindor, when she asked him, "Are you going to war with Chicago?" Be quiet, darling. Disrespectfully, so f you, Mr. President. You don't know what you're talking. I'm sorry. She's only asking him why he said he wants to go to war with Chicago, and he called it fake news. Except it's odd that the fake news is following his post from his Truth Social that has him with this cowboy hat on and Ray-Bans saying, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning." Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Why are they going to find out why it's called the Department of War if you're not declaring war on American city? It's weird how that works. But darling, you need to hush up and be quiet. That's why you're second rate. It's like the country is second rate now that this dictator's in the White House telling people who are asking him questions about what it is that he's doing after he told us what he's doing, that they're second rate and fake news. There's more. I mean, there's another reason that she asked him that.
Department of War. So we won the First World War, we won the Second World War, we won everything before that and in between, and then we decided to go woke and we changed the name to Department of Defense. So we're going Department of War, and I'd like to ask our Secretary of War to say a few words. Pete Hegseth. I think it's a much more appropriate name, especially in light of where the world is right now. We have the strongest military in the world. We have the greatest equipment in the world. We have the greatest manufacturers of equipment by far. There's nobody to even compete. And you see that with this and so many other things. The Patriots are the best. Every element of the military, we make the best by far.
So is it still fake news, or is he changing the name of it to the Department of War? Because, he's a peacetime president. Remember those other promises that he made? "Oh, I'm going to get us out of all these wars. There's going to be no more wars, except I'm going to rename the Department of Defense to the Department of War because that's too woke."
Well, unfortunately, the weakness of the previous administration has driven Russia and China closer together. That was a terrible development of a lack of American leadership and a lack of American strength. And you saw it around the world, and it manifests in what we saw on TV last night. But that's why President Trump has charged us at the Defense Department to be prepared, to rebuild our military in historic ways, to restore the warrior ethos and reestablish deterrence, not because we seek conflict. We do not. And we've been clear about that with China or Russia or others. But because by being prepared, you prevent it. You ensure that the American people and the homeland are safe. And demonstrations of parades are fine, but they don't hopefully manifest in actually military conflict. So we know what they believe and what they're about. We also know how strong we are and the military advantages we have. They know that also.
Talking about military parades. Those things could lead to other conflicts. Those things hopefully don't go that direction. I guess we don't count the one that Donald Trump had on his birthday, his military parade, because he wants to be like dictators. Except that one was so damn weak. Let's not talk about that anymore. If we run any video of his weak ass creaky parade, then it's going to embarrass him too much.
The Army eventually grew to over 4 million, with nearly 2 million soldiers serving in Europe. In 6 months of fighting, nearly 50,000 Americans lost their lives.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase.
Let's go back to talking about how those other folks are doing what it is that he was hoping to pull off. But at the same time, remember, Joe Biden's weak foreign policy is what led Russia and China and North Korea together. Really? It's weird because this post is from like a week ago. And it's from this powerful ethos strength president who posted, looks like we've lost India and Russia to the deepest, darkest China. May they have a long, prosperous future together. President, he signed it. He made sure we knew who it was. President Donald J. Trump. It's weird how the weakness of the previous administration lost India and Russia and North Korea to China, but the strong president said, looks like we've lost them. It's almost like he admitted that he's a loser. It's almost like it's not the only time he's pointed that out. In this longer post where he's talking about that military parade where they were showing off their military might, at the bottom end, he said, please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America. Why would you have to congratulate them and give some warmest regards if the previous administration lost them to the deepest and darkest China? He thinks that's tough guy talk, when in reality that's, oh, I lost talk. And in order for me to fool the people who still follow me, I need to act like it's something that I'm prepared to deal with. You know what? Someone asked him, since we've lost India and everyone and Russia to China, let's see if he can answer who he thinks is at fault for that.
Mr. President, who do you blame for losing India to China? In your post earlier today in the morning, you did put that out.
I don't think we have. I've been very disappointed that India would be buying so much oil, as you know, from Russia. And I let them know that. We put a very big tariff on India, 50% tariff, very high tariff. I get along very well with Modi, as you know. He's great. He was here a couple of months ago. In fact, we went to the Rose Garden and the grass was so soaking wet. It was such a terrible place to have a news conference. I said, well, let's use a beautiful white stone emblematic of the White House, okay? And it's been very well received. But we had a news conference on the grass. That was my last news conference I had on the grass because everybody sunk in. You probably sunk in. Every reporter out there, they ruined their shoes. We made that change. It's been a really well-received change. Yeah, please go ahead.
The question was, whose fault do you think it is? As she quotes his post about how we've lost India to deepest, darkest China. And his answer was that he put a 50% tariff on India. I mean, to give him credit, he answered the question at first. I'm the reason why. I slapped a 50% tariff on India. I claimed to have ended every war in the world. And they went, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we still following behind this idiot? Only dumb Americans do that. And then moved on to talk about the fact that he's a presentation president. You know, they stood on soggy grass. So now I have a white, pristine stone parking lot instead. And that's going to be great. Did you know that I'm friends with Vladimir Putin and Modi? Apparently not, because you just said you've lost them. So this all started with Chicago. Let's go back to that. Because he disrespected Yamiche Alcindor, asking him why he's declaring war on Chicago. And because she's a black woman, he disrespected her and said and called her sweetheart or sweetie or darling and told her to be quiet. But when he's talking to people who are kissing his ass and asking him questions, the same questions, notice his change in tone. But it is still the same bullshit answer.
You've been talking a lot about Chicago, and there was Chicago's been talking a lot. So Chicago last week lost 9 people were killed and 28 people were shot. The week before it was 7 people were killed and 37 people were shot. The week before that it was the same kind of number. Chicago is a very dangerous place, and we have a governor that doesn't care about crime. I guess we could solve Chicago very quickly, but we're going to make a decision as to where we go over the next day or two. When you look at what happened to D.C. in a short period of time, honestly, it's amazing. Over a period of 12 days, in other words, on the 12th day, we had the crime just about solved. And right now, people are walking down. They're going out right now to restaurants all over D.C., whereas if you go back a year ago or 6 months ago, nobody was going out. Nobody. We did it in 12 days. Now it's better than it was in 12 days. I mean, here we are on a nice Sunday evening. If you'd like, it feels like Saturday, actually. If you like, you could go out and you could Have dinner on me, but you wouldn't do that. But you could have dinner on me if you'd like.
What he wants to talk about is how Chicago is talking about him. Is the coward starting to get scared of all of his war declarations? Is the Department of War getting cold feet before they go into an American city again? Because we've said before, they prepped this whole thing by running up into Los Angeles. But what he did say was, Chicago is talking about me, I'm not talking about them. I guess he couldn't understand Tom Homan like most other folks can't either, because he was talking about this.
The governor of Illinois responded to President Trump's post. He wrote, quote, "The president of the United States is threatening to go to war with an American city. This is not a joke. This is not normal. Donald Trump isn't a strong man. He's a scared man. Illinois won't be intimidated by a wannabe dictator," unquote. Is President Trump planning to go to war in Chicago?
Look, I think it's worth being taken out of context. If I said we're going to war with the criminal cartels. We're going to war with illegal aliens, public safety threats that raped children, that raped citizens, that committed armed robberies, that distribute narcotics that kill Americans. We're at war with the criminal cartels, and Governor Pritzker protects criminal, illegal alien, public safety threats every day in that state, along with Mayor Johnson. We proved that. The first week of the administration, I went to Chicago. I started an operation there. The first day, we arrested 9 sexual predators, most of them child rapists. We arrested 9 members of TDA. Several of those TDA members had a pistol, an illegal pistol with a switch on it, which makes that pistol fully automatic. We arrested 2 illegal aliens that had a homicide conviction. That was the first day in Chicago. So, President Trump and this administration, yeah, we're at war with the criminal cartels and those who want to murder and rape American citizens. You're damn right.
Tom Homan says you're at war. So maybe ask people in, say, Beverly Hills. Ask some folks in the rich areas of D.C. If a guy says, "I'm coming to your neighborhood to start a war," but I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about all the crime that's around it that we keep making up and have no verifiable evidence behind. All the arrests that they made. He said, "You're going to war." Which one is it, bro? Are you going to war or are you getting scared? Because Tom Homan wants to go to war.